Good afternoon or good morning, depending on where you are. We're going to get started here in just about a minute. We only have a half hour for this, and we want to allow some time for questions. So we'll give it another minute or so, and we'll jump right in. Those of you just joining, we're just going to give it another 45 seconds or so, and we'll jump right into things. We're excited to present to you guys today. Still see people joining. All right. I think let's jump into things here. So welcome everybody. Thanks for taking the time today. This is going to be our Contractor Solutions Webinar Series. This is the first of the series. This webinar is going to concentrate on Fast Track, your one-stop shop for track lighting needs, and that's what WAC brings to you. And so we've got myself. I'm Aubrey Burton. I'm the Executive Director of Business Development here at WAC, and I'm joined today by John Hoffman. John's waving here. He's muted right now, but he's our Director of R&D. And we're very excited to present to you some solutions, some of which you may already be familiar with. If you are fans of our product, some of it may be new to you, and some of our updates or upgrades that we made along the way. So just kind of a quick meeting, and we'll jump right into things. So without further ado, I want to talk to you about WAC Group. So this was a change we made really towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. The WAC Group kind of is the parent company uniting WAC Architectural, which is a new brand for us that's going to be launching next week at Leducation here in New York City. If you're in the area, please stop by and see us. WAC Lighting, which is what you're likely familiar with already if you're on this call, and Modern Forms, which is our LED decorative brand, and Schaumbeck, which focuses on crystal, crystal products, decorative that we acquired in 2021, all enveloped under the WAC Group. So if you see that nomenclature, that's what WAC Group represents. So here's the brand portfolio in summary. And again, we're going to be focusing today on WAC Lighting and the offering, particularly geared towards contractor solutions. We've narrowed our catalog into a new Contractor Solutions catalog, which is going to print actually today. So we'll have that shortly in a few weeks. And basically, we've culled our collection and really narrowed the focus into just great options for simple kind of box in, box out, but very versatile solutions across a number of product categories. And we look forward to presenting. Everything you'll see here today is going to be found in this catalog as well. As we jump into things, by the way, if you've got questions or comments or things you like or you hate my mustache, go ahead and just drop that into the chat. I look forward to reading that afterwards. John as well will be monitoring the chat and answering any questions you have if you have any immediate needs. Otherwise, hopefully we'll have enough time for a Q&A at the end here. So without further ado, we're going to start with our indoor track before we talk about our outdoor track. Spoiler alert. John's going to take us through that, which we're very excited about. But starting off with indoor track, we can't talk about track without talking about the track itself. And so one of the things that WAC offers is we offer our track extrusions in both the H, L, and J, as well as J2 styles. H, L, and J, synonymous with the profile of Halo, Lightolier, Juno, and Juno 2-circuit track. And so we offer all of our heads, which are compatible with any one of these systems. And so you can see that on our spec sheet or in our catalog. So as we go through, you'll see that nomenclature. Just wanted to point that out real quick. If you're starting from scratch, you don't have any existing track, we do tend to lean towards H track. It is stocked the heaviest and it's available in the most finishes. So if you don't have a preference, we recommend H. So moving on, this is our Oculark 7011. This is the first fixture we want to talk to you about today. In October 2024 or January 2025, we reintroduced our very popular Oculark head with a 5 CCT switch directly on the back of the unit. You can toollessly adjust the color temperature on it. You're going to get about 1,000 lumens out of this track head, so perfect for 8 to 10 to 12 foot ceilings. And one of the things that's so popular about this head is that it's got interchangeable beam options. So I've actually got one here today. Hopefully you can see it here just for scale. And so just by twisting this front cap, you would see a lens or a film, which is on the inside. When the film that's installed makes it a flood beam spread, if you remove the film completely, it is a spot, and it also ships with a narrow beam directly in the box. So you've got all 3 options directly, as well as 5 CCTs. So you're ultimately getting 15 heads in one package. So great option, very versatile solution. And if you like this, we also offer it in an Oculark track pack, which gives you a 4-foot section of track, 3 heads, as well as a floating canopy. So if you were doing something over an island or in a kitchen, very simple, easy to use solution, ready to go for you. And we offer this, of course, in black brushed nickel, dark bronze, and white. So 11 watts, great fixture, easy to carry around. The other one that we've got in the same family is our dim to warm series. So this one is not CCT selectable. However, when you dim it down with an ELV or triac dimmer, you're actually going to go from 3000 K at its brightest output down to 1800 Kelvin as you dim it down, giving that warm incandescent feel. And what you're going to see here is this is actually a 95 CRI fixture as well. So very high color rendering at every part of that curve. And you're still going to get about 600 delivered lumens. So again, great for that 8-foot ceiling heights with the Oculark dim to warm family. In terms of the optics, you do still get beam options. However, it is just with the narrow and the flood. You lose the spot with the dim to warm. That is one of the trade-offs. Although realistically, how often are you spotlighting something and needing it to be dim to warm? So we think this is more for general ambiance or general lighting. Moving on to our 7012, this is just an additional form factor that we launched in the beginning of 25. Again, that 5 CCT switch is directly on the back of the unit. Very popular head. Again, getting back to that 1,000 lumens, per fixture. Another form factor, if you like that sort of square, funky style here, you also get that 5 CCT version, similar lumen performance, same optics package, again, that you've come to know and love from the Oculark series. And then finally, if you want to step it up a bit and get a little more punch, this is our Oculark 7030. This is going to give you a 29 watt power consumption, but it's going to deliver about 2100 lumens. So you're talking about 18, 20-foot ceilings here. You can see the CBCP, center beam candle power on the spot, delivers about 9300. And again, with those replacement optics, or rather field changeable optics that come in the package for spot and hour of flood, even more relevant, right, with those high ceilings to be able to hone in the light exactly where you want it with such a great output. So very versatile family, the Oculark family. And last but not least, we also have our wall wash. This is our 3020. It looks a little different if you're familiar with our pre-existing 3020 fixture. We had some kind of ribbed fins on the back for heat sinking. With some advancements in LED technology, we're able to remove those, kind of smooth it out, and really just give it a nice clean look. We added the 5 CCT switch to the back. And so this is the 3020 fixture here at about 1,000 lumens. And so this is the Oculark family in totality. So again, great for performance, for CCT switchability, different lumen options as well, dim to warm, wall wash. You could do a whole lot with just the Oculark family in the back of your head.
Aubrey, if I could just point out
Please.
On the OptiLock family, another couple details. It's very performance oriented, high quality. These are all die cast units. And some details here is if you look at the front face of the Oculark, you'll see that there's a regression. So you're getting good glare control, and you can see there's actually step baffles into the tooling. So with a high performance track head, you can also get, it's very comfortable in nature as well. So you get good glare control as a theme of Oculark, and it's all die cast. This isn't spun metal pieces. These they hold very well, and they're thermally optimized integrated LEDs to last a long time. And on the dim to warm, there's not many dim to warm track heads in the marketplace. WAC, to my knowledge, was the first. So we see a lot of dim to warm being widely accepted on the recess side. If your contractors are looking for solutions to their clients and looking for the flexible nature of track lighting and dim to warm or complement that recessed, that Oculark 7011 is a great option.
Excellent points, John. Thank you for that. I forgot about the fantastic glare control that the Oculark offers. Great points. Additionally, we do offer some fixed rail solutions as well. So if cost is a concern of yours, this is a great way to have just one electrical connection. Obviously, every head is in a fixed position within the rail itself, but can be fully adjusted either 90 degrees for vertical aiming or 350 horizontal. These are in fixed color temperature, so 3000 K only, 90 CRI. But they do give you about 800 lumens per head. And we have this in two styles. This is our solo fixture as well as our pipe. There is a small regress to this fixture, but not quite as deep as our Oculark family, and no step baffle to it either. The pipe, however, is CCT selectable, so that is one advantage of this style, and it also comes in a 1 light, 3, and 4 light fixed rail version as well. Another option for a head, there is a trade-off. This gives you a more aggressive price point. However, you still get the 5 CCT. It is switched using a Phillips head screwdriver, so it's not toolless. Not quite deep of a regress or a step baffle, and you don't get necessarily optics that come in the box to be able to give you that spot and hour flood, but it's a great price point option. That's our charge 8010 and the 8020. So that's two different sizes of fixture. The 8010 is about 860 lumens, whereas the 8020 delivers about 1300 lumens, but obviously compatible with our HJL or J2 series. Jumping back, we've got some other styles in this same family. This is our Solo 5010, 7010, and Sin 8110. All of these feature that Phillips head adjustability on the back of the unit. Less glare control, but you do get the 5 CCT and plenty of punch out of these fixtures at about 800. Again, ideal for that 8 to 10 foot ceiling range. And finally, we still have some kind of legacy. Everything you saw was integrated LED. Before this, these fixtures, you would have to purchase the bulb or lamp separately, but it is compatible with BR lamps, PAR lamps, LED or otherwise in very familiar styles. Same with our MR16 track luminaires. These are all equipped with low voltage transformers with 1 watt minimum load, so you could equip it with any MR16 LED of your choosing. And then, of course, this isn't our entire collection. That would be a much longer webinar, but these are some other styles that if you need a little bit more punch or performance, these are great for a variety of reasons. I labeled them high performance here. The Lucio family will get down to a 6-degree beam spread. The silo allows you to adjust dynamic beam spreads. The exterminator comes in 4 different sizes, so you can keep the same aesthetic through different ceiling heights, and the framing projector will allow you to highlight art or add gobos. So plenty more in the collection to choose from, but the ones we're focusing on in the Contractor Solutions catalog are the ones aforementioned. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to John, and he's going to take you through our X-Track or our outdoor track system. John?
Sure. Thank you, Aubrey. So we're really excited about this opportunity. The X-Track, historically the indoor track lighting that Aubrey has been describing has been around for decades. Indoor track lighting has been a great solution. Even the track heads that Aubrey had presented are using modern technology. The square footage that they go in have been indoor. With the debut of X-Track, which is brand new in 2026, we are unlocking to contractors to offer their clients solution on untouched square footage, which is outside the building, outside the home, outside commercial buildings. So this is untapped opportunities here that are brand new this year. And we're going to go through how this system works. First, we went back to how does indoor track lighting work? People love the flexibility of it, easy to install, easy to adapt, easy to move fixtures around. And that's what we wanted to carry over to an outdoor system. The challenges that we faced is that indoor, the track lighting had exposed bus bars. There's copper essentially that is exposed to the elements, and that allows you to collect the elements into the track and make it so flexible. Well, in an outdoor environment, you have wind, you have water, you have rain, snow, all these moisture conditions that don't allow for that copper bus bar to be exposed. UL indoor lighting track lighting was only dry location. So you couldn't even put it in a damp location environment. And for outdoor, we wanted to be able to do wet locations. So this is why there hasn't been a solution for decades until WAC Group had come up with a solution with the X-Track. So let's look through how this fundamentally works. We went back to the drawing board and we drew on our experience in our landscape lighting lines, which we have. And fundamentally, we looked at a brand new system. It's comprised of 4 main components. The first component that you can see here labeled number 1 is a track. This is a corrosion resistant aluminum extrusion. So it's going to withstand the wet location elements of it. That will be your structural part of your system that you would hang on your pergolas or gazebos or soffits to physically install this system. The second part is a key element, which is it's using 10 gauge landscaping wire. This landscaping wire is actually the same direct burial rated wire that is used to run landscaping fixtures that actually can go underground. So there is no issue with wind, water, or UV with this type of wire. And we'll get into a little more details there. Then number 3 are the fixtures. These fixtures will be wet location rated. And then finally, with those fixtures that you can install, they're powered by a low voltage, safe, secure system of a 12 volt outdoor magnetic transformer, which a lot of contractors are already familiar with. So the question might be, how do we make this outdoor and actually be able to be flexible and pierce and install these fixtures in a flexible way if we don't have that exposed copper bus bar? Well, let's take a look at that. So here's a quick animation we put together that's showing over the WAC X-Track outdoor system. So the first thing you're going to see is the overview of the 4 components I just detailed. You've got your track, your wire. We're going to go through an installation here. So the first thing is you'll have your pergola or outdoor structure up. You're going to install your aluminum channel. These come in 4-foot lengths and field cuttable. The screws go right through the back into your structure. Then you would install your wire. And if that went fast, I'll show you in detail in a second. The track head will install mechanically, and this is where the magic happens. There is actually duplicated pins that will, as you twist on this patented adapter, it will protrude and insert into this copper bus bar, and that's where the connection is made. So it's self-piercing and also self-healing that will be able to go into that. Then the track head gives you all the flexibility of track lighting, even outdoors. You have 360 degree and 90 degree vertical adjustment. It actually is an adjustable beam. So like a lot of our other technology, you can scale to the size of your objects. You wire your transformer and then you light it up. And then the whole idea of this product is to provide solutions. So you can see residential, you can put it in pergolas, or commercial, like where you have outdoor bistros and items like that. You can then, people want to spend more time outdoors. That has been a theme, especially after COVID, people being home more, spending more time outside their residences. Xtract will give you that opportunity to offer clients to extend their square footage and light them very well outside their home. So I know that went kind of fast, but it was a nice animation, but I'll show you if you missed some of it on the next slide, how that piercing wire works. So there is the aluminum extrusion that is field cuttable. It can join together, and this is where you put your 10 gauge landscaping wire in. The landscaping wire will ship separately, and you would cut it to length and push it in toollessly into your channel. It does have to be 10 gauge landscape wire because that channel, that extrusion slot is sized perfectly for that 10 gauge commercially available landscape wire. And then how the piercing mechanism works here is that you have these 4 pins. There's 4 sets of pins because there's redundancy that you would be able to insert into the track. And as you mechanically connect it toollessly, you're also making the electrical connection to be able to power that. Once you make that electrical connecting, you power your transformer, then your track is now powered. It has a die cast construction, very robust. If you can install the indoor track lighting that contractors have been doing for decades, this is just as easy, if not easier, to get up and running. So here's an overview of the system. You have the components of a track head. It is available in a popular shape and style, available in black and white with beam adjustability. It's available in popular 2700K for a little warmer color temperature or 3000 color temperature. The extrusion channels are available in 4-foot and 8-foot and can be joined together. The length of the run that you can do is the exact same length that you can do on a standard 10 gauge landscaping system. You can use our landscaping calculator available on our website to be able to calculate how long you can go, but you can go hundreds of feet with this system if you needed to. And then you just calculate how much wattage per your heads. You can do up to 30 heads on a 300 watt transformer. Your 10 gauge wire is that direct burial system. It's available in 100 or 250 foot lengths. The lengths here these are field cuttable, and they would install into there. There are the wire is always black in nature. So what we will offer is we will offer a cover if you're using a white channel and you do not want to see the black wire. We will offer a channel cover, which is listed as the last item there. And then you have accessories to complete the system. Junction box covers, feed ends, end caps, joiners. They are all die cast in nature, so they're built to withstand the test of time. You can also do patterns with Xtract. You can do L's, U's, corners. With that L connector, the wire will run right through that, so you have uninterrupted splices from your transformer or the end of the run. We even have flex connectors. So if you have a uneven surface vertically, your flex connector can go down that. You can also horizontally use that flex connector to make different patterns. You can even transition from a wall to a ceiling with outdoor track.
John, there are some active questions in the chat real quick. If you want to touch on, if you were to remove the head and move it elsewhere on the track, what about the hole that was left, from the original placement?
Yes, Melinda, I think that question came in. Thank you very much. Very good question. So the pins here are, the piercing pins are very small in nature, and the wire has self-healing properties. So when you take the head out, it will enclose and you can move it to another location, and the track will maintain its integrity as well as the wire. This has been tested rigorously, testing the fixtures hundreds of times and testing it in a laboratory environment as well as in a real world environment. The wire will self-heal and you will be able to have a robust connection. Also, those contact points are separated, so you don't have to worry about shorting because the pins are so small and they don't create any puncture points next to each other. I think there's another question about 10 gauge wire. The 10 gauge wire I will get to in a second in a future slide. I'll address that question coming up. So here is an overview of the system. This is a bill of material overview to kind of show you how the components lay out. It is a guide. The system, once you use it once, it's pretty simple and easy, but if you wanted to lay out a bill of material, this is a visual representation to be able to do that. And that will be available right in our spec sheet and our catalog. So talking about the channel itself and that wire. So the channel itself is field cuttable. You can see this arrow where the wire is going in. That is sold separately. There's a couple different options you can do to source this wire. One is WAC will provide it. We do have 100 and 250 foot skews. But we also made the channel compatible with two of the most popular wires in the marketplace, Page and Regency. So Page and Regency wire, if your contractor or yourself have this, already you doing landscape job or a distributor has it, you can use those 10 gauge Page and Regency wires, or you can source it from WAC as an accommodation. And you can create patterns and all of that. They're available in 4 and 8 foot lengths. And if you're familiar with our H-track profile, that is going to be the same size and shape. So this is an outdoor system that is as small as an indoor system look. More if you could keep going, Aubrey. So this is what the lighting element on this is. A very versatile unit, 630 lumens, and it has dynamic beam adjustment where you can adjust it from 20 to 70 degrees. The fixture is also fully sealed. So if I take this dynamic beam adjustment, which is done just through a thumb screw off, you can see that the fixture is fully sealed. Let me just take my blur off for 1 second here. You can see the fixture is not a retrofit lamp. This is a fully integrated LED, fully sealed to be able to withstand the resin, all the elements. The input voltage is 9 to 15, so it'll self-adjust even for voltage drop. It's got index marking on the top for beam adjustment. A very, very flexible unit. You can even put accessories on the front to be able to accessorize lenses, spread lenses, beam elongating, or even glare control with honeycomb louvers. And we've tested this rigorously. So going back to the piercing nature and being able to withstand, you can see we've done thermal testing, cold and hot. You can see units in the top that have been frozen. We can pierce the wire in very cold temperatures. We've actually submersed and tested that wire with the punction. You can see that in that blue tin there. We've put these in our laboratory in almost every machine and facility that we had. And this system is built to be able to withstand the test of time.
John, there was a question here about, let's say a tropical low category hurricane rolls through. I think the water might be similar to this lower image here in the bottom left. Did we do any testing on wind resistance or anything like that yet, John?
Yes. So IP66 is a water jet test, which is a very powerful stream of water. However, if you click the next slide, it zooms in a little bit on that. So to answer that question, the IP66, I know sometimes you guys see this in a catalog and a spec sheet and it looks, what does that mean? It's actually pretty much shooting this thing with a fire hydrant. So this is actually a very powerful stream of water. You can see that the fixture is holding up in position and also in integrity as water nature. So we feel this is more than nature would ever throw out at this. If this is hitting your residence, you've got more problems than your lighting fixture, and your lighting fixture will light up. You'll probably have some other problems with your house. And Aubrey, if you don't mind going for the next slide. So that's a lot of details quick. I know this is a quick webinar, but I hope you guys got a good exposure. The idea is to be able to bring a lot of the indoor solutions that you've had for decades outdoors and really be able to get outdoor applications of this flexible nature, easy to install, helpful for the contractors. You can see pergolas, eaves of houses, hospitality, even commercial areas can be able to install this, be flexible in nature and give you solutions over time. A lot of this, it's also available right now in stock, the outdoor track system. So it's very hot right now. It's while supplies last. So if you guys are interested in this, suggest to reach out to your contacts and get your solutions going. And I think we have about a minute left for questions and feedback, Aubrey. I'll throw it back to you.
We have a minute left, and I'm good to hang on for another 5 if anybody didn't get a chance. Sorry, we ran a little bit long. But in terms of there is one question asking us again to explain how that self-healing works on the wire. And the best explanation I can give is that the pins are so small that when they puncture that very large rubber jacket on a 10 gauge wire, when you remove it, the rubber collapses back on itself. That's what we refer to as the self-healing. We recently showed it at a trade show where folks were going, back and forth, up and down the wire, continuously re-puncturing it, and you wouldn't know it looking at it from afar. So I hope that kind of answers the question there.
And Maher's got a very good question, or Elisa. Is there only one head option at the time? Currently for the outdoor track, there is one head option. Well, it's got multiple color temperature selections and 2 finishes, but it's a very versatile head in that it's powerful lumens, it's beam adjustable. If there are other elements you would like to see on the indoor or outdoor track lighting, we welcome you to put them in the chat right here. So I would encourage you to give us feedback right in the chat. If there's another element you would love to see, I'm the director of R&D. We'd love to take this information in and deliver more solutions to the marketplace. We're really excited about this and plan to build on this system.
So Marcus asked a great question. He said, "While supply lasts, is this a limited supply?" And I'll be quite honest. We didn't order as much as the excitement justifies. So yeah, the first shipment is here. It's ready to go. We are going to be reordering, and we'll have a bunch more coming in shortly. But it's been received very, very well. It's untapped market. And again, people have been asking for it for quite a while, so we will need to get more. There is a book digitally with the track laid out as presented, Ashley. If you go to waclighting.com and under the resources tab, you can click on the Contractor Solutions catalog, and that'll have all of the heads we discussed today. And in the outdoor section, I believe this section, this track system leads the outdoor section. We have any warranty on this product for projects located on the coast, referring to the exposure to salt in the environment. So it would follow our standard warranty conditions, where we don't warrant the finish near the coast, but the electronics would be under warranty. I believe is how that reads. Who should we reach out to for more information and comments? You can reach out to myself, John, your rep, hopefully your distributor, although, I think some of them may be learning at the same time as you guys are, but I'm going to post my email in the chat as well. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
I believe this will be posted on YouTube eventually as well. So if you missed it or want to share with your larger teams, you'll have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining, and we hope you tune into the rest of our Contractor Solutions series. Again, this is only the first of, I believe we have 4 parts scheduled. We'll see how it goes. Maybe there'll be more. So check us out again, and thanks for joining.
Thank you all.